Welcome. My name is Kristen Arnold, and I am your happy panel moderator. We have Site Women in Leadership today. First, we have Anne-Marie Rogers.
Hi, I'm Anne-Marie Rogers with Direct Travel, and I'm on the Site International Board of Directors.
And we have Jen Glynn.
Hi, I'm Jen Glynn, and I'm the Managing Partner of Design and Achieve and Meeting Encore, and I am the current past president of Site.
And we have Joni Phillips.
Hi, I'm Joni Phillips with 110 based in Minneapolis, and I am on the Site Women in Leadership Committee.
The Site Women in Leadership, which is the topic of our panel. So ladies, think of one word, you've got it written on your whiteboard, one word that describes women in site leadership. Those of you who are participating, think of your word, and let's turn it around at the count of three. 1, 2, 3. Exciting, strong support.
Okay, obviously I need training on writing backwards.
You know, it all shows up fine in the replay. Not to worry. Anne-Marie, why'd you pick that word?
I just think, Kristen, it's a really exciting time for women in leadership in Site. There are so many opportunities. We're coming out of this crazy pandemic time slowly but surely. And I'm just seeing more and more opportunities. And personally, I'm excited about the women in leadership, particularly as Joni mentioned in our Women in Leadership Committee, this wonderful group of women that are growing and learning and supporting each other. And I just see all kinds of great opportunities going forward.
I see lots of heads shaking. Jen, why'd you pick your word?
Absolutely, my word was support, and it's such a supportive group of people. I feel like I've had a mental health session every time. And also with our advisors and actions, we're supporting developing professionals, and they're supporting us with our growth as well. So I'm really enjoying some of the sharing that we're doing around the table.
And Joni, your word.
Hi, my word was strong. And I think of all of us and what we have been through in the last year. And I'm very confident that if I would have known last March that it was going to be going into the second year of challenges, I think I would have just stayed in bed and not gotten out. But being that we're all really strong women, we're very supportive of each other. We got up and we did what we had to do.
That's a nice summary of everybody's words, Joni. So got a question for you. What about the people who are out in the audience who are not feeling quite that excitement, support, and energy? Like what would you recommend that those ladies do?
I would recommend that you just don't give up. And I know a lot of people still are looking for jobs. I know that they're still challenged with that, but I see movement. I see moving forward, and I see opportunities coming up. They may not be there today or tomorrow, but they're going to be there soon. So I would stay up on your skills. I would stay up on your networking. I would stay positive as you can. I would be kind to yourself and take the time you need to be kind and supportive of yourself, and just don't give up.
Yeah, I agree so much. I mean, it's about engaging with your community, with your family, with your friends, and staying engaged with each other. So that could be posting interesting articles on LinkedIn. Colleen Borowski's done a great job. I gave her some shout outs last year as well on still being visible. So much so she said on the call the other day that she's like, I think people think I have a job. And because she's done such a great job connecting with the community. And because of that, we're always looking out for people in our network, our site network, where, I sent job postings to a couple of people this week that I'd seen. So I think just staying engaged, but to Joni's point, allowing yourself the permission to have a bad day. If you wake up and sometimes you just, you're angry at the world, and, do something that's going to bring you joy, go for a walk, cook, garden, whatever it is, but give yourself permission to feel, and you don't have to fake it till you make it every day, not these conditions. What do you think, Emery?
Well, and this is the great thing about having such smart colleagues and friends, is they said everything I was going to say. But I completely agree with Joni about keep your network strong. And it's especially when you might not be feeling that way, and Jen said the same, really be out there, be communicating with people, because as Jen said, you never know when there might be that job coming up. And now's a great time to work on your skills. But I also think in coming back from this pandemic, things are going to be a little bit different. And maybe we're all a little bit more aware of ourselves, and that we need to get up and go for that walk and take that break. And the world's not going to collapse if we are away from our desk for 30 minutes. So it's going to be, I hate that word, a new normal, but it's going to be a new reality. And we just all need, especially if you're not really feeling it, reach out to your network. And Site is so fantastic for that. At times when I was feeling down, they really propped me up with learning new things, with connecting with people, and finding out that other people were really feeling kind of the way you were. So
I think you're right,
Yeah.
though. I think it's time to be reflective, right? So when I was talking to my mentee the other day, I said, just write down a list about everything you love about your job and everything that you would change about your job. And so even though we're a little bit more seasoned in the events world, what changes can we make to our industry to build back better, to quote Eva Delaney in her mission this year with Site? So how do we reflect on what we're good at and get more of that in our lives? So, you know, I know we talked all about the side hustle and the passion project. I've got about 12 on the go right now. So, but it's so great to see people's energy that are, if you're unemployed or even on the evenings or weekends, funneling energy into something that they want to do. It may not be their job, but it brings them joy. And now is the time to reflect on what brings you joy.
Joni, what brings you joy? What did you learn about yourself during this lovely pandemic?
I learned that I needed to be kinder to myself. I learned that I needed to be less judgmental of other people. And I really learned, the just being, I really made an effort to be my more authentic self. And sometimes that was crying, and sometimes that was being strong, and sometimes that was faking being strong, and sometimes that was being a friend to someone and reaching out. I think I did a better job of reaching out to people as, just as time went on, whether it was checking in with people professionally or checking in with people personally. And one of the blessings I have come out of this year, especially with the Site in Women Leadership Committee, is that I've made friendships. And I think for so long we base everything on professional relationships, and we went a little bit deeper than we probably would have because we were so supportive of each other.
Anne Marie, I'm hearing, I'm seeing you. Like, so what was your big takeaway from this pandemic?
Well, so much of what Joni said is so true. Not being so judgmental and really reaching out. And it goes back to what we were talking about before about just being connected and realizing that somebody said it, we're all in the same boat. Well, not really. We're all in the same ocean, but we're all in different boats. So, some people are reduced, some people are not working at all, some people are working twice as hard for less pay, and everybody had that anxiety. So my takeaway was the kind of the same as Joni's, of reaching out, being kind to yourself, feeling a little bit of survivor's guilt that you're still there and some of your great friends don't have jobs, and just trying to kind of muddle through it. And I completely agree with Joni and Jen that if I'd known it'd be a year, we probably would have all reacted differently. But I think we're all pretty tough, thinking, hey, I can get through this for the next day, the next week, and pretty soon it is 2 weeks and a month. And maybe that's one of the lessons, is take the small steps and just keep moving. But be kind and be helpful. And what I love about our Women in Leadership group, and I know the three of us keep coming back to this, is that we are all strong women, and we all support each other. There's not any of this backbiting or cutting. We're all looking for ways. It's almost comical how we're all saying, oh, you look great, or you did great, or you were great on this. And that's what it's all about, because we're all struggling. So that was my big takeaway. Sorry, that was a long response.
So Jen, it looks like we're coming hopefully to the light at the end of the tunnel. We can see that. What would you recommend ladies do in the future?
I think there's some silver linings just for females in particular, for women. And that is that our responsibility as caregivers, no matter if that's elderly parents, a spouse, or children, requires flexibility. And I think part of the understanding now with corporations is that we can get we can get stuff done. And that's my motto. And you can do it from home and virtually. So it allows you some more flexibility in your life to accomplish both your professional and work goals. We've already touched on continuing to, I'm a lifelong learner. So listening to different podcasts, books, and realizing, the skills that we have that are so transferable. I mean, we're challenged with the brain drain that's coming up into the event industry because of the amount of time. But also I've seen people, a friend of mine, I'm helping him with a course he's launching on speaking. And, I see his enthusiasm and he's pushing my skill set as well. So it's still in the peripheral of the event industry. I still get to connect to people that I love and enjoy working with. So I think continuing to assess what skill set you have. I know I'm a servant leader and I like to serve people. So I've been trying to coach and mentor people around me on, they call me the instigator of what I can pull out of other people and the promise I see in them. So I think it's just reaching out to your support network and asking those questions about, like, what do you think I'm good at? Because one thing I'm good at is telling other people what they're good at. So how do I figure out that for myself? So again, it's taking time to have those authentic conversations with the people in your lives to figure out what you can learn now that can continue to develop for you in the future.
As women, you're really bringing up a lot of great points about being supportive and non-judgmental and asking for feedback, which are not normal activities for us. I don't think, not for many of us. What's your takeaway, your advice on how to overcome that self-talk of should I do that? Can I do that?
What, you mean the imposter syndrome that we all suffer from?
Could that be the imposter syndrome? What do you think? Is that the imposter syndrome, Jen?
Well, a little bit, at least an inkling of it, because women tend to apply for jobs if they're overqualified, but up to 100%, where men will qualify, apply for a job that they're 10% qualified. So I think having, one of the things I started with my business partners was the Women Supporting Women Summit, and we bring in topics. We're talking about imposter syndrome next month and burnout. Joni and Anne-Marie have been, and Tahira. And so I think it's building up our own personal confidence in order to understand that we're equal at the table. There was an article in Fast Company the other day that talked about not using girl boss or female entrepreneur in the language, because we're not female entrepreneurs, we're entrepreneurs and we're bosses and we're leaders. And we need to start instigating that confident language in this time. This is our opportunity. We're speaking on more panels. We're out there looking for more opportunities, and people are looking for us. So be prepared.
Well, and Kristen, I still remember something you said to me in one of our original conversations, where I was really nervous, or sometimes when I speak, I get really nervous. So I write down everything and I script it, and I just got slammed on a presentation for being too scripted. And I remember you saying to me, but you have it in you. And I refer back to that. Since you've told me that, I refer back to that a lot, that I have it in me. It may not come out as eloquently, or I may stumble on my words, or I may wish I would have said it a little bit differently, but I know I have it in me, and I just need to say it. And I need to have the confidence in myself to just do it.
I love that. And I love it for you, Anne-Marie, in particular, because I know you think that I volunteer you for things that you're not comfortable for sometimes in the board role, but you totally have it in you. And I always have the philosophy, people are like, you're so confident. I'm like, I'm not confident. I'm just willing to take a fall because I'm in a supportive community. If I totally flub this up today, people are still going to love me. Joni and I did a panel years ago in Abu Dhabi, and she sat beside me, and I had a picture of my husband saying, he still loves me, a little card, because I just thought, no matter how badly I fall, even if I fall literally off the stage, my husband still loves me.
Right.
And that's what I think about you, Anne-Marie.
And to what Jen just said, I was thinking about Jen, and I was thinking about how often you sit next to her, and it's kind of a joke amongst the board that if you sit next to Jen, all of a sudden you're going to have a new assignment that she voluntold you about. But Jen has said, I'd like you to do this, or I'd like you to do that. And I'm thinking, I can't do that. And then when you get to the end of it, you have the confidence and you feel like, wow, that was amazing. So I'm really grateful to friends and leaders like Jen for having the confidence in you. And then I think it's really basic, like Joni said, just do it. It's fake it till you make it. If you don't think you can do it, get out there and do it. And nobody else knows that. You know, nobody else knows you don't think that. So picture them all in their underwear and just do it, and lose the intimidation. So I appreciate that.
What great words of wisdom. And Jen, I love the idea that, you reach into the organization to pick people that you want to build around you. But don't forget that you also can put your hand up and say, hey, here's something that I can do. Here's a strength. How can I help and support this community? You guys have been great. What's your one tweetable soundbite that you have either learn, take away, remember about our conversation? Anne-Marie, we'll go with you first.
Oh, shoot. I was hoping you wouldn't go with me first. There are so many, but one tweetable. Can I pass and have that and come
Sure,
back?
we can come back to you. Jen.
Be kind to yourself and to others.
Oh, that's great.
Joni.
Be your authentic self.
Anne-Marie.
Well, and I think I would say, just do it. Fake it till you make it, because when you do it, then you do it, and you're there.
There you go. And keep learning. That's the one thing that I've heard from all of these ladies. Keep learning, keep supporting each other, because we are a family. We are a community. So thanks for being here.